This is an interesting question. Does leadership know what any of it means, right? Oftentimes not, and they need to be able to, right? That's not on leadership to know how to digest the information. It should be delivered in a way that's easy to digest and meaningful to them. So, I'll often hear, when talking to IT engineers and kind of operations teams, my CISO gets this report and it's all red on Patch Tuesday. Well, of course it's all red on Patch Tuesday if it's just showing vulnerabilities, because there was just a ton of new vulnerabilities announced. So you haven't had time to test and deploy, so it's going to be red. Sending that type of information to a leader means nothing, right? Okay, I've been red for a minute, 2 minutes. What is my team doing about it? Which is equally important. So it's my current state combined with what are we doing about it and how have we been doing over time. So, there isn't a one size fits all, Paolo. I couldn't say this report is perfect for this every CISO and every company, right? It depends. I encourage customers to think about what do they want to get from the report, right? There's no point just getting a report. What are you going to do with it when you get it? I encourage customers to think about what compliance standards are important to them. I encourage customers to think about what SLA metrics are important to them. When you start to combine these things into that report, it gives you not only your current state, but it gives you actionable data on what you're going to do and what you've been doing, which I think paints a much more accurate picture for a CISO than your traditional vulnerability report that says, hey, you've got 10,000 critical vulnerabilities, so what, right? So that's important. And, like I say, it's not a one size fits all here. I couldn't say here's a perfect report for everybody. It's got to be tailored to the organizational needs.
Perfect. And Michael, you've been in these shoes, right? You've been, the person selling to leadership, the person selling, higher on the hierarchy about the importance of vulnerability programs and stuff. So how you did it and how you think it should be done.
Yeah. Rob teed that up. Absolutely wonderful. It's not a one size fits all, right? And oftentimes, these metrics and these KPIs that are requested, they often come from, outside of even like the security realm, right? It could be a CIO or CEO or somebody on the board that just wants to understand, what's going on. And, all they really have to go on is, I know vulnerabilities are a thing. How many do we have? And that's not a great metric, because as Rob stated earlier, depending on when you run that report, it could be 4,000, it could be 20,000, right? And you don't control that number, right? As practitioners, we should want to provide metrics and KPIs to our leadership on things that we can control that are pivotal to the organization's risk, right? So things like the number of vulnerabilities on systems that can't be patched, right? These are things that they're legacy systems, going back to that risk register I mentioned earlier. How are we looking when it comes to our patch SLAs, right? What does that number look like when a new threat hits, when a new vulnerability is scanned, and it's critical to our system? How quickly are we being able to action that, right? We want to see those numbers low. And so those are the things in my mind that tell the story around the organizational risk from a security practitioner standpoint.
Perfect.
This is